So in many ways, investing is like doing puzzles, and I love doing puzzles. I'm Erwin. I'm a senior investment analyst and a portfolio manager, and I work with the investment team at Exencial. I got a liberal arts degree from a small school in Illinois called Principia College. And then after I started my work, I got an MBA from Babson College, which isn't well known, but Roger Babson over 100 years ago was an incredible investment person. And I just loved going to a school that he was associated with. So my start in investments was as a summer worker when I was 19 years old. And it's just evolved ever since then. I fell in love with it. I started studying it. And many years later, I've never had to interview for a job. It's just evolved in this one field my whole career. I decided I wanted to start my own business. So I moved from Boston to Texas. Started with hardly any clients and hardly any money under management, but watched it grow year by year and ran that company for 30 years. So in the many roles that one fulfills as an owner of a registered investment firm, my two favorite are doing the investment research and also working with clients. I've had a broad experience working with individuals and institutions over the years. In fact, I had clients in 26 states, and at one point I had them in 4 different continents. And so I've really gotten to know the needs of clients, and I apply that today as I look at portfolios. As a portfolio manager, I'm still cognizant of those needs and desires and feelings of individual clients. As probably any owner does, I got to a point in my business where I realized it was time to take another step. And I enjoyed it immensely, but I had to find a partner that I could really trust. Because I wasn't ready to retire, and I wanted my clients to have the very best kind of service possible. So I visited with quite a few companies about the prospect of merging. And Exencial really stood out to me. I had a list of things that were important, and I went over that list, and our owner, John Burns, was very responsive, really listened to me, and we agreed on most of those items. And I just felt so comfortable at the end of this process that I sold my company to John and then continued in the process of transferring everything over and working in that transition. But when that ended, I wanted more. And so I stayed on and continued to do what I love to do. In fact, John said to me, "Rich, what is it that you most like?" And I really appreciated that question. And I said, investment management. I love seeking out investment ideas and managing portfolios. And he said, "That's what you'll do." And I've been doing that since, mentoring younger analysts and just enjoying what I'm really made to do. So when I came to Exencial, I brought a strategy with me. It was called the SELECT strategy. And what SELECT stands for, it's an acronym. And it stands for all the key constituencies that I felt were important for a company to address. So S stood for shareholders, E stood for employees, L for leadership, the other E for the environment, C for customers, and I don't like customers being so far down the list because they usually come first. And then T to be able to demonstrate that over time. It's not a short-term thing. So in many ways, investing is like doing puzzles, and I love doing puzzles. And I love to have all the pieces fit. And so as I work on portfolios, I want to make sure we have the right diversification, different size categories of companies. The other thing that really excites me is trying to anticipate changes that are going on out there. I mean, that's how you, in my opinion, that's one of the best ways to be successful. And that's to identify trends before the vast group gets out there. And sometimes that means we buy something that we see happening, a company, and then we have to wait a while. Well, that's okay. We've got a 5-year or more time frame with it. But the key is to identify something that's up and coming. And if we can do that, we can be successful. And so what that has led us to do is to look for what we consider the best companies in the corporate world. We always like to talk about quality companies, and everybody talks about quality, but we're real serious that we get to know these companies very well. We like them to be leaders. We like them to be doing the right things, to be good corporate citizens. And our feeling is that when markets turn down, this is something that clients can feel comfortable about because they can look at those names and go, I know those are good companies. I know we may have this recession or this market decline, a bear market, but I know these companies are going to get through it and they're going to thrive coming out the other end. And that really was the purpose. Plus, we have a number of clients who really like to know what they're investing in, and they like to feel they're investing in companies that make a difference. That's what we do. Having said that those qualities are important to us, that doesn't mean we don't focus on financial factors. We do. We have a whole list of criteria for that too, in terms of having a strong balance sheet, having certain targets for revenue growth and earnings growth and profit margins and various numbers. We like them to have leadership positions where they have the most revenue in a sector. And so we look at a lot of data points to support that good idea. A good idea bought at the wrong price is not a good idea. David Yepes and I have worked together very closely for 7 years. I've seen him grow into an incredible analyst. He's grown faster than any analyst I've ever helped mentor. And I trust him 100%. And we work very well together. We cover all the names in the portfolio between the two of us, and we bounce ideas off of each other, and we just love the process. I mean, it's just a joy to team up with somebody that is that qualified and that capable. So the team that manages the select strategy is David and me. But I also just love the fact that we have a really strong investment team here at Exencial. I mean, I know investment teams, and this one's top notch. I love working with every single person on it, the other portfolio managers, people that analyze stocks, the fixed income area. The people are incredible. It truly is an amazing team, and I'm so grateful that Exencial was able to put it together. We haven't all been together the whole 7 years. Some of our teammates are newer to the organization, but it's strong. I don't see any weaknesses in our group.